Hi. So today's question is, I have my first draft of a book I want to publish. What is my next step? Well, this is a very normal question to ask because initially we have an idea, we have a book that we want to write or a basic idea in our head, and we've taken the hardest part of the entire process, which is actually just getting that first draft. So many people never reach that point at all. So I would just say congratulations first that you've gotten to the point of even having that first draft in place. So that is a very huge accomplishment. But the problem is the remaining steps, they can be a bit confusing. And the other thing that makes it so complicated is that there are tons of options to choose from when you're trying to figure out what exactly it is that you want to accomplish next. So let's take a look. If we just head on down here. So one thing I created in order to answer exactly this question is the Write Books That Sell Power checklist, which you can get below in the comments. And as you can see here, one of the ones is write the book yourself or order it to be written by ghostwriter. But writing the book yourself, you're already here. So you've already reached the first step here. And what you're going to need next is going to be a cover, which you can create yourself. There's ways of doing that, or ordering a cover to be created. You're going to format the manuscript. It's going to need to be in a format that's going to work well. I use a program called Jutoh to do the formatting, but in reality, you could even just use Word. There's ways of even doing it just like that if you want to do it. Another issue is if you want to publish the book yourself, which I would be, of course, suggesting, but if you wanted to go through a major dealer, well then go through a publishing house, then that would be a different process than this one. But I would still, on your first book, I would still recommend you self-publish so you would learn the ins and outs of the different steps that are required for this particular thing. And in particular, you're also going to want to get some editing done when you're in the process of formatting the manuscripts and getting it in. After that, we're going to take it to an ebook and a print copy. And one thing that I discovered when I was first getting started was that there are so many different ways to do this. And so you're going to want to just take this simplest way. So for some people, they spend so much time trying to figure out how to do it the best way or the right way for them or whatever the case might be. And it's better just to choose a very, very simple standard path. And the path that I'm describing here is by far the simplest way to go about doing that. So with we're going to get the cover created. We're going to format the manuscript, find a tool that's going to meet our needs in order to get it into a format that we can turn it into a Kindle book or EPUB if we prefer. And then also that tool should also be able to turn it into a version that we can have as a print on demand, which we can then use on Kindle or Ingram, Spark, or Lulu, a number of services. I use most of these services specifically so that you can maximize the profits that you're going to be making from the royalties on these particular books. So you can grab a copy of the checklist below. It's free, and it just gives you a basic idea of where to start without the fire hose effect that when you're first getting going on this, you can see there's just so much to do, and I think it's good just to break it down. So just so I may not have mentioned this, but I'm Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, and just make sure you hit the subscribe bell if you like, or leave a comment if you would like to see more videos like this one. And just a final question for you: what have you found is the most challenging? Have you found where you've reached a particular step and aren't sure how to go further? You might check out some of my other videos that I've posted that address a wide variety of questions upon how best to go about this entire process. I find it very exciting, and there's no need to be drowned in all the different options. We just move one step at a time, and you're asking the right questions, which is you've reached the point, you've got your manuscript, and you just want to know what to do next. I've put out myself over 170 books onto Amazon, and I'm in the process of moving many of them as well over to Ingram Spark. So, and they're also most of them on Audible and other places like that. But the biggest thing is just to start it very simply. We're going to try to see if we can just get those books into Kindle format. You get them in a format that your readers are going to like, and that we can start the process. And each time you put another book out, you can learn things, and you can then take your first book back and you can change and adjust it in order to make the best practices. And so, but the one thing I would suggest definitely not doing is trying to go into everything at the same time. But I would just do one step at a time, and hope this answered your question. Thanks.